In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called GB Query Enhancements, also known as GenerateBlocks Query Enhancements. So for those of you that have used GenerateBlocks, you know that there is a query feature built in where you can surface data and display it in various types of ways. What GB Query Enhancements is going to do for you is turn that feature on its head and give you way more powerful options to surface your data. Before we poke around the website here a bit for GB Query Enhancements and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this created for your business, go to InfluenceWP.com and grab your partner membership. And we thank GB Query Enhancements and Ian, the founder, for being a partner of InfluenceWP. If you like what you see in this video, you can go over to our site and grab the exclusive offer for GB Query Enhancements. All right, so the website we are looking at today is gbqueryenhancements.com. Pretty easy domain name there. What we're going to do here is look for some key trust pages. That's the About page. We're going to look at documentation. We're going to look for a changelog. And then I'm going to rattle off all of the features just to make sure that we have those on record before we go look at the solution, because I do want to reiterate, this is just a high-level introduction. We're going to stay very, very surface level on this. This is not a tutorial because you can really get into the weeds with this plugin because of just how powerful it is. Okay. All right. So let's look for the features first off. As it shows here on my screen, a complete query control for GenerateBlocks plugin. Add term queries, user queries, and meta comparisons to the GenerateBlocks query block. Build category pages, team directories, and advanced post loops without custom PHP. Now, this is an important note. Typically, what this plugin is providing requires quite a bit of custom PHP. So this is going to be a way to get these powerful queries and avoid custom PHP. Now, this plugin is very developer friendly and there are a lot of filters. So if you need to get in there as a developer and do more, you absolutely can. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So you're going to get a term query option, which is going to allow you to display categories, tags, or any custom taxonomy. Show term names, descriptions, post counts, and archive links. Supports all term query parameters. You can use it for things like category listings, archives, product category or brand lists, documentation sections, and more. You're also going to get a user query feature to display WordPress users with their display names, bios, avatars, and post counts. Filter by role, order by post count, or registration date, or exclude specific users. Use this for options like team pages, author directories, member listings, and contributor grids. And then we have enhanced post query. Add meta key, meta underscore value, and comparison operators to your existing post queries. Filter post by custom field values with proper type casting. You could use this for things like featured posts, date-based filtering, numeric comparisons, and custom sorting. Moving on down, we have new and improved dynamic tags. So GB Query Enhancements adds additional dynamic tags and adds some handy improvements that apply to most, if not all, available tags. So you've got various term tags, user tags, and then there's some additional filters. All right, so that covers the features. Let's look for next up would I would look for an about page, but I already know there's no about page. I've spoken to Ian, the founder, about this, and we have an about page that is coming. About pages are very important for customer trust. You know, faces with names of the team members, a little bit about the product and the team, how everything came to be. It's very important. Next step would be documentation. And I know that under the navigation and the header, under support, we have the docs. So we have two docs here, hooks reference and installation and setup. Not a whole lot going on because you don't need a whole lot of documentation, which we will see. Which brings me to my next point in being fully transparent here. How I know that is because I went to record a video for this already and I wasn't able to publish it. what I thought was a bug that I ran across was actually a feature request. So what I expected to happen wasn't happening, but we turned that into a feature request. It wasn't a bug. It's just that the plugin wasn't set up to do it how I, was trying to do things. So that's why we do these videos. They not only uncover bugs, but they also oftentimes uncover new ways of doing things and feature requests. I would say 9 times out of 10 when I do these videos, I uncover something interesting for the vendor to look at. Okay. So a quick bit of upselling here, if you will, advertising, if you will. If you are a partner, then I do these types of videos for you for free. If you're not a partner and you just want to have this service done for you, I do public and private videos, 2 different types of videos. One can be published on the YouTube channel for InfluenceWP. The one is just kept private for your team. So if you want videos like this, it's part of your membership, or you can just get it ad hoc. So I wanted to bring that up. I don't advertise my services enough, so I need to start doing that. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Next step would be the changelog, and I know that that's down here in the footer. So let's go there. We see version numbers with the date of release, and then of course what is included with each version number. So the changelog is perfect. So we rattled off, the features. The about page is coming, the docs are fine, and the changelog is perfect. So let's go ahead and move on to the solution here. What I've got going is the free Ollie theme, so a block-based full site editing theme. Under plugins, I've got GB Query Enhancements, and I've got GenerateBlocks, just the free version. If you get the pro version of GenerateBlocks, it's going to unlock additional features. And I've got WooCommerce going so we can surface some products. Okay, so that is it. So let's go over to pages. I've got a page here called GB Query Enhancements. Let's go ahead and just go into that. So what I want to point out here, I'm going to assume because of GenerateBlocks that you are familiar with the block editor. Okay, so what I want to point out here is that we can just do the slash leans to the right, and we can do a search for a query. Now, an important thing here, I'm assuming everyone knows this, but I'm not. Let's just not assume. All right. WordPress has a default query loop built in. That's this one right here. Okay. So I don't want you guys to get these confused. The ones that come from GenerateBlocks have like this blue icon next to it. Okay. Another way that you can see this easily and see what's coming from query blocks is if we click on this plus symbol up here in the top left, or you can click on this plus icon right here. But let's go ahead and click on that. You're going to see exactly what's coming from GenerateBlocks. And we have the main query block, and then we have term query and user query. As I said at the beginning of this video, GB Query Enhancements provides what I call a shortcut block for term query and user query. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the main query block first. If you were to drop this in, you will see over here on the right-hand side, the query type is set to post. It's not set to term and it's not set to user. Those are available in the dropdown. Okay, so it's going to start with the post query type. That's, as it shows on my screen, is pulling in your post. And then you can determine which post it pulls in, what information is displayed within that post loop, and so on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this main query block. Let's go back and add another block. So let's say we go and add what I call a shortcut, a quality of life, if you will, improvement. We click on the term query block, choose a layout. Now we see over on the right-hand side, the query type is automatically set to term query. And then back over here in our list view, we see that the name of the block is conveniently named for us. So that's what I mean by it's a shortcut. It is a quality of life improvement. It's just saving us a little bit of time, which is always cool to see. So if we were to delete this one, let's add the user query block. Okay, going back to our list view, here we go. We see our block is named user query. Over here on the right-hand side, our query type is set to user. All right, while we are in this user query type, let's go ahead and set this up. So what this is doing is pulling in all of our users currently on this site. So we've got an author account, editor, and then my account. it's going to, by default, show the author bio and then the number of posts they have. So if they have a bio, that will display. If they have a certain number of posts, that count is going to display right there. All right. And you can totally configure all of this stuff. You can click on it there and then click on an element. So like this, the author name here. Over here on the left-hand side in list view, it's showing exactly what it is. It's using a GenerateBlocks. I think they call it a heading, maybe a headline. I think they call it a headline block. But you see the dynamic tag that's in there. So you click on that. On the left-hand side in list view, you see what you see over there. But you can also see that we are in preview mode. If we switch over to edit, you're going to get that nice underlying dynamic tag that we see over here also in list view. All right, so we'll switch back to preview. What if we want to change something about that? We click on that and we click on this dynamic tag. Here we can see what is being pulled in, and then you can adjust this. You can exit out of that, go back into the dynamic tag, and now you can choose what it is that you want, what data you want to surface and pull in there, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and just undo that so we bring that back in. Now we see here the option to display an image. What this is gonna do by default is pull from the user, which by default pulls from Gravatar, okay? So that's why there's no image that's in here. So what we wanna do is with that image block selected over on the right-hand side, we wanna go under image and we wanna click this dynamic icon. And under here, we wanna search for user and we wanna find this avatar URL. So user avatar URL, we plop that in. You can configure these additional settings if you want. We're just gonna go with the defaults and we plop that in. Now, as you notice, it is pulling in a Gravatar for my account. You don't really know that, but I'm telling you, only my account, the InfluenceWP account, has a Gravatar configured. But in the back end, it looks like it's pulling it in for all users. But in reality, if we go to the front end of the site, we see that it's defaulting to the unconfigured Gravatars, okay? And you can configure this in the discussion settings of WordPress. So if we go over to go back to our dashboard and go to settings and discussion, scroll down to avatars, you'll see here the default avatar is set to mystery person. So that's where that icon is coming from. And you can set whatever it is that you want. Now, this is a little sidebar bonus information. What if we wanted to display an image for each of those users? This has nothing to do with GB Query Enhancements. This is just a little bonus information. We can use a plugin like Simple Local Avatars. Go ahead and activate that. Once you do that and you go to a user account, we now have the ability to choose an image from our media library or upload one. And I've already done that here. Okay. So now, because that's in there, let's go back to our page right here. Let's refresh this page. It looks again like it's pulling the same information, that same Gravatar across all of those. But if we refresh the front of the page, now we see our user profile images are actually coming through. So again, just a little bit of bonus information. All right, so that was the user query block. Let's go ahead and add the term query block. Again, it's a shortcut. Keep on to say shortcut for us. And again, you can choose the layout or you can start completely from scratch and build this however you want. We're gonna go with just the name and count option layout. By default, again, it's querying terms and we have the ability to query taxonomies. By default, it is querying categories. We see over here the names of our categories and how many posts under the categories are published, I should say. Over on the right-hand side, we can change our taxonomy to, let's say, product categories. So here we have our product categories and how many products are listed under those. Everything is fully configurable. Any custom taxonomy can be pulled in. Okay. All right, let's go back to our list view. Let's go ahead and remove this. Let's go add the main query block back in here. Again, you can choose the layout. Let's just go with 2 columns again. It's automatically pulling in our posts. Over here on the right-hand side, we see a post query and it's pulling by post. We can change that to pages, or we can change it to posts. And we see all of that come in. We can also do it by posts and products and pages. So all 3 if you want, whatever it is that you want to do, right? So here we are pulling in products. Maybe you want to add a product image, let's say. Let's go over here to list view so we can see what we've got working. We're working with here. Let's just expand some of these. Under the loop item, we can see we're pulling in a title, the date, and the excerpt, which is the short product description. What if we wanted to add an image above the product name? So I'm going to right click on that headline, which is what GenerateBlocks calls it. And I'm going to do add before. Okay. In there, I'm going to add an image. Okay. And from that, we are going with that image block selected. Oops, I'm not sure what happened there. Over on the right-hand side, we can't really do much there. So I think we need something else. I think we need, let's do something different here. Let's go. I think it might be a featured image, actually, is what we're looking for. So let's go featured image. There we go. Okay, so now with that selected, you don't even need to really do anything. It's just going to dynamically pull that in. So let's go back to our query. That is our products. Okay, cool. Then you can choose what, we're pulling in all of our products. You can further filter this down and like maybe we only want our simple products. See how we have simple subscription, variable product, and so on. We can also sort the order that they are displayed. You can choose how many posts per page you want to do. But the star of the show and why we're really here is GB Query Enhancements. And it's just the fact that how powerful these queries are and how granular you can get and all the data that you can surface with this. That is the real star of the show. We could get into, design. If you look over here on the right-hand side, we can get into the design of generate blocks and how to lay this stuff out different, all of that type of stuff. But the main star of the show, the main reason we are here is just to show you the types of data that you can surface and at a high level, how you can do it. Okay. All right, I think I've shown you that, and I think we're good to go here. If there's tons more, guys. I mean, there's tons more. We're just scratching the surface. Again, if you're a developer, you can get in there and with the filters. This is a developer-friendly plugin. The sky is the limit. It's just based on your needs and your imagination of what you need to do. But it's extremely, extremely powerful. But I think we showed this pretty good at a high level. I've shown what I wanted to show. Shout out to Jonathan Jerrigan, who has a video here on the homepage of GB Query Enhancements. He's done a really nice video. He's a very good educator. So if you want to go a little bit deeper on that, I would check that out. I've also spoken to the founder, Ian, about doing additional video series. I think that would be a great addition to the website. Down here where we talk about term query, instead of just a screenshot here, which I think is valuable. It helped me to understand at a high level what's going on. But I think a video here would be, in these areas, would be really neat, just like a video series. Okay. So I would anticipate that's coming. We talked about it. I would like to see it. I think it is going to come. But again, if you want to go more in depth, I would check out this video from Jonathan. It's extremely in depth, and he is like I said, a good educator. But I think we covered what we needed to cover here. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I missed. I think that's it. So again, I want to thank GB Query Enhancements and Ian for being a great partner and supporting the InfluenceWP project. If you like what you've seen in this video, go over to our website and grab the exclusive offer for GB Query Enhancements. And I will see you all in the next video. See you later.